Buying the biggest blender can leave you with awkward controls, uneven smoothies, and a pitcher you hate lifting. Your real choice is workflow versus texture. Choose by toughest ingredient, controls, and cleanup tolerance. For mid-range high-speed option, I'd consider this if you want more ambition than a basic blender without jumping straight into a premium model. But its workflow demands attention because the speed knob must return to neutral before adjustments or restarts. That can become irritating when you pause to scrape the jar or correct a stubborn mixture. Its finished blends also aren't as smooth as the strongest options here. So I'd pick the Hurom for a patient cook who doesn't chase perfectly uniform texture. Skip it if intuitive controls or especially smooth smoothies matter most. For high-performance, smoothie-focused option. Is your usual order a smoothie without piles of hard ice? Then I'd keep the Wolf in consideration because it produces decent smoothie results. The catch is serious for frozen drinks because its ice performance falls short. That mismatch makes the high-performance positioning less persuasive if crushed ice anchors your routine. I choose it only when smoothies are clearly the main job and decent texture is enough. Skip it if you make frozen cocktails, icy drinks, or recipes where dependable crushing matters. This one's focused, but that focus is narrow. For professional-grade blender, the sleek body looks ready for a serious kitchen, and I consider it when appearance carries real weight. But the everyday experience is more complicated than the styling suggests. Its LED display and crowded button layout add fuss to routine blending. Meanwhile, smoothies can remain thick and fibrous, which undermines the upgrade if uniform texture is your priority. I'd pick this for someone who likes display-led controls and accepts a less refined drink. Skip it if you want a simple morning routine or regularly blend leafy, fibrous ingredients. Sleek doesn't mean effortless. For deal. If your blender regularly meets a full tray of ice, this is the Breville I'd examine first. It crushes ice rapidly, making it better suited to frozen drinks and ice-heavy prep. But that ability arrives in a wide, heavy jug with a very loud motor. The crowded settings also add more decisions than many kitchens need. Its smoothie program required 2 runs to fully incorporate almonds, so automation doesn't guarantee a finished drink immediately. I'd pick it for committed ice users with generous counter space. Skip it if quiet operation, easy pouring, or minimal controls matter more. For commercial-grade blender, I'd put this on an ice-focused shortlist because it can crush ice into a very fine result. However, its speed and use labels aren't immediately intuitive, so you'll need time to learn the panel. The first smoothie cycle can also produce inconsistent texture. More blending can improve that result, but now you're supervising a machine that's supposed to streamline the job. I'd choose the Pro for someone comfortable extending cycles and learning unfamiliar controls. Skip it if you expect one clearly labeled smoothie setting to deliver uniform results without intervention. For lightweight basic blender, small kitchens may appreciate a blender that's easier to move and store, which is this model's clearest appeal. I'd use it only for forgiving mixtures where perfectly uniform texture isn't essential. The lightweight build also feels flimsy, so the low-effort handling comes with less substance. Tough smoothie ingredients expose the bigger limitation because almonds and kale can remain chunky and fibrous after extra blending. I'd pick it for simple, occasional jobs with softer ingredients. Skip it if nuts, leafy greens, or demanding smoothies are part of your normal week. For high-performance model upgrade, this is the option I'd question hardest because the upgrade label doesn't establish a better everyday outcome. KitchenAid's conventional 3-speed blender performs better across nearly every compared category. That makes this higher-tier model difficult to justify if you're buying on assumed performance alone. It can still fit a buyer committed to this specific series after matching its features to an established workflow. But I'd compare it directly with the simpler KitchenAid before spending more. Skip it if the high-performance name is your main reason for upgrading. The badge isn't the benefit. For ice, start with either Breville and accept more control work. For simpler mixtures, Hurom or Wolf may fit. Blendtec favors design, Hamilton Beach favors portability, and KitchenAid demands the strongest upgrade justification. Check picture handling, control labels, and your toughest ingredients. Cleaning details aren't established here, so inspect the jar and blade design. Prices and accessories change, so check before you buy. I'd default to matching the blender with your hardest weekly task. Switch toward lighter models for storage, or Breville for ice-heavy work. Links are in the description. That's the brief. Fit, trade-offs, and skip if before you buy. Subscribe for the next buying guide.